Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Friday. The S&P 500 was up almost 0.5% today, and it was really interesting day actually. Very light volume as you expect just before a 3-day break, but we had a really big run right at the end, and that's a good sign. Sometimes that helps the next day. Unfortunately, since we have a 3-day weekend, probably people will forget about that by the time we get back to Tuesday. But I want to be able to answer a question that has been coming in is just, what's really hot right now, what's really moving, and what have you. So let me share my screen and I'll show you, what I've come across. All right, so this is my signal portfolio that I made this morning. I make this portfolio almost daily, and again, I'm pulling all 2,300 ETFs, and then I screen those for the pieces that I don't want. I take out, Bitcoin and cannabis, and et cetera, et cetera. I have some pieces that I don't like. I take out very volatile pieces like the VIX and what have you. I then mash those together and put them into this signal portfolio. So first of all, there's a couple things that are unique that are happening right now. In the past, not that long ago, even just a few weeks ago, this portion here, the lighter blue, this green energy, was the big dominant piece. And so it's still there, very strong. But what has happened is now we've seen technology, this brighter blue, start to become the big dominant portion. 3D printing, which we started to accumulate last week, really is the biggest piece in the methodology that I use to identify this signal portfolio. And it wasn't that big, it was kind of down here the last time we talked about this. So that's working. This block, BLOK, with this transformational data is actually the computing and what have you, what they call blockchain that's behind Bitcoin. It's doing very well. And if we look, the next biggest piece here is this clean power with the Kensho, CNRG, and then a couple of other clean energy, Invesco Green, First Trust Green. So these are, our big movers. And then ARC-Q, which is the autonomous and robotics, and then the gig economy, which has actually been in there. So the things that I actually look at for this are some of those pieces that aren't that big. We've already have positions in all of these places. So this gig economy is interesting. We just taken a position here, still relatively small, but that's fascinating. But the one area that I'm watching maybe the most coming forward here is actually this yellow piece, which is the emerging markets. More and more, I'm starting to see emerging markets kind of peak up. Sometimes they fall down and they disappear, but that's where you start to see some of these emerging trends. So I'd certainly make sure I had, a strong exposure to technology in general and clean energy in general. And some of these individual pieces I think are important. The ARC funds are, I think, very nice. That's an ARC fund. That's an ARC fund. Got another ARC fund down here, et cetera. I think almost all of them are in here. Here's the genomics. All right, still in there. That was a bigger piece, and so it slowed down a little bit, kind of what you'd expect. So altogether, what we're seeing right now is this kind of motion towards technology, and some of these areas have slowed down a bit, but still, outperforming the market overall. But that's the kind of hot areas right now. So I really am interested to see what's going to happen next week. So I will make sure to be here and talk to you on Tuesday. Thank you very much.